The Trump regime folds to Canada. Once again, it's like Groundhog's Day, the same day over and over. Trump wakes up in the morning. He threatens Canada with tariffs and annexation. Canada goes elbows up over the boards. They stand up to Donald Trump. They say, we're going to retaliate. The markets start to crash. Donald Trump panics, and then Donald Trump reverses course. Now, yesterday, Donald Trump sent out his trade advisor, Peter Navarro, fresh from his recent prison sentence for contempt of Congress, and he goes, whoa, Canada, can you tone down that rhetoric? You're being a little mean to us because they're being mean to us. Here, play this clip.
Well, I would just ask my friends in Canada to let's tamp down the rhetoric. I understand politics and it's a political season there.
Well, we're seriously. And by the way, this is what Navarro and the Trump regime was doing all day, making appearances like this, saying, all right, everybody, we just got to tone it down. Canada was you're getting a little carried away there with your rhetoric. Here, watch this.
But frankly, the premier, look, just tamp it down, please, over there, okay? Just throwing down the hockey gloves. Stop that rhetoric, and let's just look at what we're trying to do. We love Canada, but look, there's some big issues there, and we're not going to tolerate anything but them stopping killing Americans and doing what's right with respect to things like steel and aluminum, which they've been dumping into our country, and that's stopping.
Carried away with your rhetoric? You know, there's this meme that I think is so appropriate right now, right here, where it's like the U.S. shoots Canada and then the U.S. goes, how could Canada do this to us? Look at what Donald Trump posted earlier yesterday. He said the only thing that makes sense is for Canada to become our cherished 51st state. And then Donald Trump said there won't need to be tariffs if we annex you. And then Trump said the artificial line of separation drawn many years ago will finally disappear, and we will have the safest and most beautiful nation anywhere in the world. And your brilliant anthem, "Oh Canada," will continue to play, but now representing a great and powerful state within the greatest nation the world has ever seen. I think we should stop using the language that this is merely a trade war. When Donald Trump makes posts like this, threatening conquest and annexation, we're actually talking about declarations of real war. And so when the Trump regime declares war on Canada and Canada goes elbows up and over the boards and punches back and applies retaliatory tariffs and boycotts all U.S. tourism and takes American booze off the shelves, the Trump regime then sends Peter Navarro, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so good. Could you tone it down? You're being mean to us. Do you know how weak and pathetic that makes the Trump regime then look? It's a cycle of taunts, bullying, and then weakness repeated over and over again. Let me just share this with you. Talking about going elbows up, my recent interview with Canadian Member of Parliament Charlie Angus, he directed this message at Donald Trump before Donald Trump sent Peter Navarro to back down. Here, play this clip.
After 60-some days of your chaos, you ripped up your European treaties, you sold out the people of Ukraine, you've acted in a disgraceful manner towards our allies, you're running a chainsaw through American democracy. But you made it clear that Canada is your number one enemy, your next door neighbors. So here's the thing. You're threatening us with tariffs. You're going to bring them in. You're going to bring us to our knees. And then you start panicking because we don't back down. And now you're trying to hem and haw and change, what you said just, a couple of days ago. We don't care. It doesn't matter. Until you bring all the tariffs off, until you stop harassing us and threatening our border, the punishment is going to keep coming from Canada, because we realize right now that Canada has become the number one line of resistance to you and your regime. So since you've backtracked, we've upped the ante.
Now here's Charlie Angus talking about the boycott, and he says that the statistics he's seeing, it's about a 40 to 50% decline in certain flights to the U.S. and tourism and consumption, which is going to cost the U.S. billions and billions of dollars. Watch Charlie Angus.
Really interesting statistic I saw was that flights to the U.S. in February were down 40%. Now, they talked in January about a 10% drop causing, 15,000 jobs right off the top. A 40% drop is extraordinary. And then you add to that the fact that February is a really, really cold month in Canada. People love going south to the U.S., and they're not. They're going either to Mexico or they're staying home to do tours in the summer through Canada. So this is having a huge effect. And this is the power of the boycott. The boycott will start putting pressure on the governors. It'll put pressure on red state and blue state legislators to start standing up and saying, this is an insane thing. Why would the United States consider its number one enemy in the world to be not China, not North Korea, not Vladimir Putin, but their next door neighbors in Canada with an integrated market, which is the most successful marketing arrangement in the world today? Why would they blow that up? That's something Donald Trump is going to have to explain to the American people.
And you have the premier of Ontario, Doug Ford. He went on a number of shows in America. And here's what he had to say. Here, play this clip.
On the electricity. Stay tuned.
So what does that look like? What are the potential responses?
Well, we'll see. I'll talk to the team and we'll make an appropriate response to President Trump. Again, I stress this is not the American people. Canadians know it. And if we go into a recession, it's self-made by one person. It's called President Trump's recession, which shouldn't be this way. We should be booming both countries right now.
All right, let's be real. How many subscriptions are you actually using? If you're anything like me, you sign up for a free trial, forget about it, and boom, you're paying for something you haven't used in months. That's exactly what happened to me. And when I got Rocket Money, I found a bunch of subscriptions I did not even remember signing up for. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. And trust me, seeing all my subscriptions in one place was an eye-opener. They even alert you when prices go up and can negotiate bills on your behalf, so you don't have to waste time on hold with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. So cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Just go to rocketmoney.com/MeidasTouch today. That's rocketmoney.com/MeidasTouch. Again, rocketmoney.com/MeidasTouch. Go to rocketmoney.com/MeidasTouch and cancel your unwanted subscriptions today.
Now, one of the things that Premier Ford said too is that he was going to apply his own tariffs on energy, which was above and beyond other retaliatory tariffs, above and beyond the boycott. And then that freaked out the Trump regime. And so the Trump regime then ended up like negotiating against themselves and then acting like they got some deal or concessions when the Trump regime literally threatened annexation and then once again pulled back their threats. I mean, they do this every single day now, it seems. You wake up, tariffs, no tariffs, tariffs, no tariffs. Oh, did Donald Trump actually post that? Oh, he did. Are they actually going to sign the tariffs? Oh, they're not going to sign it. What's actually going on here? Let me show you the new leader of the Liberal Party, the interim, soon-to-be interim Prime Minister, Mark Carney. Here was his very pointed message to the Trump regime. Let's play this clip.
America is not Canada. And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form. Look, we didn't ask for this fight. We didn't ask for this fight. But Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
And so what does Donald Trump continue to do throughout the day? It's just lots of whining. It's social media whining. It's like trolling on his social media platform and X. It's just weird. They go, why would our country allow another country to supply us with electricity, even for a small area? Who made these decisions and why? And can you imagine Canada stooping so low as to use electricity that so affects the life of innocent people as a bargaining chip and a threat? I don't know. Maybe you threaten their existence. Maybe you threaten their sovereignty. Maybe when you do something, sometimes people react. You know, the rest of the world are not like these spineless Pyongyang MAGA Republicans who dutifully clap at dear leader. Most of the world looks at you like the pathetic, weak moron that you actually are, who keeps tanking the markets. But I guess when you tank the markets, that's a great opportunity for your band of grifters like MAGA Republican former Congress member Matt Gaetz, who said, we told you there would be market volatility. You can protect your savings and retirement. I trust at Golden Crest Gold to manage my gold and silver portfolio, and it's growing my wealth. So you've got Matt Gaetz selling products over a market crash. Who else would do that? Oh, Donald Trump and Elon Musk selling Teslas, doing product placement ads outside of the White House as they are unleashing these disorganized and pathetic and dangerous trade wars that are backfiring in their face as they're tanking the markets. They're selling Teslas. And Donald Trump's like, oh, I don't know how to drive. I don't know how to drive. And then meanwhile, they're having their regime propaganda like Jesse Waters act all tough to kind of cover it up and be like, okay, can you believe that Canada tried to shut off our electricity? It's like they want us to invade them. Yeah, we're going to invade them. Here, play this clip.
Before we get to Elon, can you believe Canada tried to shut off our electricity? I mean, it's almost like they want us to invade.
I don't think that y'all are building the case for Canada to be nicer to you when you talk like that. When you speak in language of invasion through American state regime media, it is so utterly, utterly pathetic. One of the things that I enjoyed watching as well, though, is Caroline Levitt learn what a tariff is in real time. And then she was like, you don't know what a tariff is. A tariff is a tax cut. The Americans are getting their tariff tax cuts. That's what we promised. Like no tax on Social Security tariffs. What? What are you even talking about? First off, you're not doing no tax on Social Security, no tax on tips, and no tax on overtime. And tariffs are quite literally a tax on American consumers. They're not a tax cut. Here, play this clip.
You're welcome. If we could just step back for a second. When President Trump last addressed the BRT when he was on the campaign trail, his big push was on tax cuts. He's going there today as he's proposing tax hikes in the form of tariffs. And I'm curious for why he's prioritizing that over the tax cuts.
He's actually not implementing tax hikes. Tariffs are a tax hike on foreign countries that, again, have been ripping us off. Tariffs are a tax cut for the American people. And the president is a staunch advocate of tax cuts. As you know, he campaigned on no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, no taxes on Social Security benefits. He is committed to all three of those things, and he expects Congress to pass them later this year.
I'm sorry, have you ever paid a tariff? Because I have. They don't get charged on foreign companies. They get charged on the importers.
And ultimately, when we have fair and balanced trade, which the American people have not seen in decades, as I said at the beginning, revenues will stay here, wages will go up, and our country will be made wealthy again. And I think it's insulting that you are trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. Mary.
Oh, and then they go back to their line, though, that while they're folding to Canada, while they are sending Navarro out and showing utter weakness, then she goes back to, saying, look, we want Canada to be our 51st state. Everybody knows that. Here, play this clip.
On Canada, after all of these threats to increase tariffs or turn off electricity, I wonder, does this administration still consider Canada to be a close ally of the United States?
Well, I think Canada is a neighbor. They are a partner. They have always been an ally. Perhaps they are becoming a competitor now. But as the president also laid out in his Truth Truth Social post today, he believes that Canadians would benefit greatly from becoming the 51st state of the United States of America. And I actually looked into some of the research about the cost of living in Canada, and the cost of living is much higher than it is here in the United States of America. The average cost of a home in Canada is much higher. In Quebec, the highest tax rate for an income of $150,000 or more is 53.3%, more than half of Canadians' incomes they are being taxed on. So the president has made it clear that he believes Canadians would be better served economically, militarily, if they were to become the 51st state of the United States of America. Reagan.
I guess I should mention as well, finally, that in that Trump social media post, he says that the borders are artificial. Like, isn't he like Mr. Border? And now he goes, when it comes to Canada, those borders are artificial. It's just a line. People drew it with a ruler. Why would they draw such an artificial line with a ruler? Listen. First off, that's exactly the opposite of what Trump said, but who cares when it comes to Donald Trump about consistency to begin with? But it's the language of Putin. He's using verbatim the language of Putin. It's just a border, artificial border. And Canada has taken note. Europe has taken note. The world has taken note. And could you imagine, though, if Putin sent somebody out and go, oh, they're being mean to us. They're being mean to us. What are we even watching? What are we even watching? Weakness. Weakness. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.